Hey folks, welcome back to the show. I'm Paul Gustafson and this is Healthy Hypnosis. In case you're new to the program, Healthy Hypnosis is the show that helps to educate and enlighten people on the serious-minded, helpful side of the field of hypnosis. And if you've watched the show in the past, you know that many times I have past clients who come on to talk about their stories and their experience with the problems that brought them to see me and using this process of hypnosis to create the solutions that they were looking to create. And I am really happy to have Michelle on the show today because Michelle is one of those clients who kicked butt with hypnosis and succeeded, I think, beyond what your expectations might have been. Does that sound good? Well, thank you for showing up today and
thank you for having me.
Accepting my invitation to get on the tube and basically to share your story, which will help others, I think.
Yes.
So you came to me for, you were concerned about flying, right?
Yes. Yeah. I had to go away for business and did not want to get on a plane. Haven't been on a plane in 7 years. And I had no choice but to get on that plane.
And that was your, when you came to see me, was that the first, that was going to be the first plane ride you would have taken for the 7 years?
Yeah. And I also didn't want to drive in friends' cars or even, for some reason, didn't want to be in my car alone or do anything really alone. I don't know what happened, but
something, you said, you described it, it came out of nowhere, right?
Came out of nowhere. Something just came over me. I didn't.
This fear,
or
phobia.
And I'm a very outgoing person. I just didn't want to do anything anymore.
It was contrary to the type of person you were and your lifestyle. And
my friends were all shocked. I just I couldn't be a passenger in anybody's car. I honestly didn't even want to be in my own car. I would, at a red light, stay really far away from people. I wouldn't even pick my parents up at the airport. I was terrified of everything.
So you got the phobia bug.
Yes, very bad bug. I don't wish it upon anybody. Because
since I've known you, I know you had concerns about, flying and all the fears, but I still saw that confident side of you.
Right.
Right? And you were very career-oriented, and you had a great job, and you were doing well with it.
Right.
So it didn't add, and that's the way phobias are. They don't make sense.
Right.
And
it made no sense.
Right.
So I tried other treatment, went to a therapist who gave me medication, and, psychiatrist who gave me medication, and a therapist who tried to help me through these attacks. It just didn't work.
Were they literally panic attacks that you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought I was having a heart attack. It was
really
very bad. Yeah. And then I had to do this sales meeting in Florida, and I had no choice but to get on that plane, or I was going to have to quit my job, which was my other alternative.
Now, let's give the viewers some perspective. I think it's been a few years, right?
Yes, it's been I think it's 4 years now.
4 years since we met, and since you came for sessions.
And yes.
When we reconnected recently, you stopped by and we discussed, coming on the show and all. I couldn't believe it had been that long.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, time is like flying.
And I am so different.
Yeah. So you felt powerless?
Oh, yeah.
There was no hope?
None.
And you were taking, I guess, what many would call the mainstream approach to problems, pharmaceuticals and...
Which only masks the problem. I still wouldn't go to the airport. I mean, not even to get on a plane, just to pick up my parents. I'd make them take a cab home.
Really?
I wouldn't get on a bus. I wouldn't get on the train, which, hurt my friends when we had to go to Boston for something. I wouldn't get on a train. I'd always have to drive.
Oh, you were concerned about being a passenger and so, right?
Anything. Yeah. I couldn't do it.
And none of this ever made any rational sense to you?
No, I knew it made no sense. I just couldn't get over it.
Was there one particular day that you realized this problem had sprouted, or did it gradually?
No, I don't know where it came from. If I had to think back, I really could not put my finger on it.
Had this fear been going on for the 7 years?
Yeah, and it just got worse. The more I stayed away from things, the worse it got.
Yeah.
So I had a little fear of being a passenger. I mean, it could have been like I saw a car accident. I don't know, but I'm just giving an example.
Right.
Maybe I saw a car accident. So then I feared being a passenger, that maybe someone would hurt me and I wouldn't be in control. the more I stayed away from being a passenger, the worse my fear got. The more I stayed away from the airport, the worse my fear got. Then you're watching TV and you just hear things about planes. I let my imagination run wild.
Right.
Castaway, forget it. Once I saw that movie, I wasn't watching any other.
Oh, the Tom Hanks movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the end of that for me.
You're describing what I've noticed with clients that come to see me with phobias, is that if you avoid, I had a client once very early on who was terrified of, she was agoraphobic. She didn't want to go out of the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she never went out of the house, started a home-based business, but then she needed knee surgery. And because that original phobia was left unchecked, unfixed,
Right.
it's like the phobia jumped out into other areas of her life, and that's what you're describing.
It just completely took over my life.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but I think it all started with a really bumpy flight home from Florida. I had told you that in our first session years ago, and it was right after September 11th, and I never wanted to get on another plane after that. And it had nothing to do with, a fear of someone hurting me or an attack on, anything, but it was just the turbulence and, the attack on, the U.S. right before that.
Right.
And I had flown in November of '01, so right after that.
I see.
And it was just, a turbulent flight. We flew through a storm, and then I think I just let all of my fears, I don't know how, just
because before you were flying,
we had a house, a place that we went to in Florida 3 times a year.
So
I was flying all the time,
right,
and never had a problem, never.
And that one particular flight, combined with the general stress of September 11th, and
right, and then when you turn on the news, you see car accidents, and it's always something bad. So I think I just let it kind of take over my life.
Would you say that you have a particularly vivid imagination?
I do.
You do.
I put myself in those person's shoes, which is probably not the best idea when you fear things.
I was going to say it's a double-edged sword, because you can certainly put yourself in shoes of people you admire and want to be alike, and certainly benefit in that way, but
not when
there's a downside, right?
Right, not when you're fearing things that could happen to you.
So you went for the pharmaceutical approach and the talk therapy approach. How long did you pursue those? And
I was on the pharmaceutical drugs for 3 years. When I came to see you, I was still taking them.
Right.
And the therapy, that only lasted for 6 months. It just wasn't doing anything for me. It was only masking the problem yet again. So I came to see you with no...
Who referred you? How did that process get started? How did you find out about me?
I don't remember. I thought it was someone at work had heard of you, and I looked it up online, and I found it.
What did you think? I always ask clients who come on the show, or ask clients in general, what made you think of hypnosis? Is it because you didn't have anywhere else to turn?
My father had done it to quit smoking years ago.
Oh, that's right.
And he never smoked again.
Okay.
So it was my alternative.
So you imagine yourself succeeding like your father succeeded,
Right.
that positive imagination that you have.
And I knew that it was going to work, because this was it. It was going to work, or I was going to have no job, and I was going to live in my house in a bubble for the rest of my life.
You were going to be bubble girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then probably write a book about me.
Yeah.
Because it would be horrible.
Yeah.
So
you said that you knew it was going to work. Is that because you were so desperate, or did you somehow in some
Well, I knew
level.
It worked for my dad. I knew it has worked for other people. I went online, your website, and I researched it, so I knew it would work, and I was confident in myself that I could do it.
Now, if I remember correctly...
I wasn't confident when I came in your office, though.
I can't remember exactly. I know you were at a crossroads,
I only had 3 days till I got
right.
on the plane.
It was definitely crunch time. So I had to perform.
Yes.
Yeah, it was crunch time for me.
Yes, I had 3 days.
Yeah, or this woman was going to be quitting her job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you came in and we went through the process of, going through the ABCs. And what was it like for you when we started getting into the session?
It was scary. The first one was very, well, when I first came to you, I was thinking, is he going to get in my head? What's going to happen? Am I going to go to sleep? Is there going to be a clock that's ticking in front of me?
Right.
They don't, it's not
That
like
spiral
on TV.
thing.
Yeah.
Right. Tell the viewers it's not like on
No.
TV.
It's
right?
not like on TV. You don't get in my head and ask me all this, personal stuff. I'm not going to go to sleep and wake up clucking like a chicken.
Unless you want to cluck like a chicken, but I
Right.
told you that would cost extra.
Exactly.
Right.
And I didn't have the cash. So that's what I was really nervous about. And then when I got there, I was even more nervous about, okay, I actually have to get on this plane. It's really happening. I'm really going to get on the plane. And then once we started talking and it started happening, my fear started to kind of go away. And I remember after the first session, I went home. I only had 3 days. I listened to that tape over and over and over again. And the next day, my friend drove me to work. And I was okay. So then...
Oh, you were a passenger.
Yes. And I was okay.
Did that surprise you? That it was
It
okay?
did. It did surprise me, but I didn't say anything about it.
Right.
I just...
Cautious optimism.
Yeah. Can you drive me to work? Okay. And she didn't say anything about it. She just picked me up and drove me. No questions asked. And then...
Was she surprised?
Yes.
Yeah.
But she didn't ask me anything.
No.
Because she knew not to.
Right.
So...
She didn't want to break the bubble.
Yeah. And then the second day, I came to see you again, listened to the tape over and over again.
What was the session like on day 2? Was it different than day 1?
Yeah, because we got more into the plane and what the plane does.
I think was that the one where we imagined the
Go
ride?
in the plane.
Yeah.
That was a little bit nerve-wracking for me.
Did
The first one, I was really relaxed.
Do you recall if I told you before we did the second session that it did include a plane ride?
Right. So I think going into the second session, I was really nervous, and it was hard for me to concentrate.
So you were nervous even at the thought of just imagining
Right.
a plane ride,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yes.
You were going to be in a comfortable, safe environment, but just to even think about that.
I didn't relax at that session when we were face-to-face. I didn't relax at all. But then when I went home and I listened to it over and over again, I mean, I had it on repeat while I was sleeping, kept it on all night, and I was able to relax and visualize myself in the plane, and I was okay with it. And the third one was the turbulence. And you told me how the plane moves and, how I'd be okay with it. And
I think the analogy was that you'll perceive the turbulence in an airplane like a bumpy car ride.
right. And every single time I do that, I just got back from Florida last week, and we drove through a storm in D.C.
that.
And it was very, very turbulent. They didn't let anybody stand up, and all I thought about was a bumpy car ride. Aside from a little bit of nausea, I wasn't nervous at all.
Yeah.
And my nausea was cured with some soda.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
I was perfectly fine.
So that first plane ride that you took, we had
To Florida.
We did all 3 sessions before you went.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did it. The
And
last one was
an
hour before I got on. I had to leave for Florida.
Now it's all.
I rushed
coming
home,
back,
put it right on my iPod, and went. And I listened to them on my iPod.
How did you feel driving to the airport?
Nervous.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I was very
Well,
nervous. And
that's
when we got on the plane, as soon as they closed the doors, I was like sweating. I was so nervous, but I kept my headphones on, and the lady was like, "You have to shut those off." I said, "I'm not shutting my headphones off." So I kept them on up until I could keep them on, and then I shut them off, and I just kept saying what you said to me over and over and over again. And once we were in the air, I was fine. But I kept them on. Well, I talked to my friend next to me, but kept them on low in the background, and it helped me to calm down. And I still listen to it this day, the first one, because the first one says to, relax, take all the stress from your day, put it away, pick it up later.
Right.
And if I have a bad day at work or I can't sleep, I put it right on my iPod, go to sleep with that on.
So now you know that you can separate yourself from the concerns and worries, like you said, set them aside. It's something that
It
nobody...
actually works for everything now, not just the flying.
Really?
But the flying was huge for me. But after that trip to Florida, I went to Mexico with my girlfriends.
Right. What a great vacation that must have been for you.
I got on a boat.
Yeah.
That took us an hour away. I got in buses, cabs with all these people I didn't know, and we were doing all these things I thought I'd never do. I went swimming with the dolphins and things that I would do prior to my episode of I don't know what happened, but I'm back to my normal self. I'll go skydiving tomorrow if you want me to. I'm just back to who I was before.
So whatever had turned that switch on, this helped you shut it off.
Yes.
And just
I've recommended other people to come here.
Yes, you have. Yeah, I appreciate that. Just like the negative ripples of the problem stretched and spread into all areas of your life, the positive ripples of the solution seem to be spreading as well. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful for it.
Yeah. So you were able to free yourself from the irrational patterns that just got started in a completely mysterious way, and you're now like centered and grounded and connected to...
I was flying back and forth to New York for 2 months every weekend.
What's it like now to make reservations for a plane? Is it like something you thoroughly enjoy?
I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
I do not think about it. Where before I would think, what if there's a storm? What time's a better time to fly? In the morning or the night? Are there going to be little kids on the plane? Do I sit in the front or the back? I still prefer the aisle seat. That's just
me too.
I always like the aisle seat, but I don't even think about it anymore. So and my friend is so shocked. They're all so shocked.
Is that instinctive fear? You know, the what if there is a whatever. Has that been removed? Do you not do that now?
I don't even do it. It does not even cross my mind anymore.
For 7 years you were doing it, and now it's gone.
I had to know where every exit was, everything. It does not even cross my mind. And it didn't last week during turbulence. All I thought was, it's a bumpy car ride down 93. They're paving it.
They're right.
That's exactly what I said to myself.
Yeah.
And I shut my eyes and went to sleep.
Well, that's so nice. So what has it been like for you as you listen to the sessions? You still occasionally pop a CD in? Yeah. For the purpose of what? Just relaxing and chilling out?
Yeah, because, when I have a bad day at work or I can't sleep, it's 3 in the morning and I'm up for some odd reason, I can't sleep, I listen to it because it helps me to get rid of all those thoughts that are in my head. Like
crap.
Yeah. What am I going to do at work tomorrow? I have a meeting, I have this, I have that. Helps me to get rid of all of that and pick it up tomorrow if I have to, and don't if I don't. I memorized exactly what you said. So
it's okay. You cannot pick that crap up if you don't want to. Yeah.
And then before I went to Florida this time, I did listen to the flying one. Even though I don't need it, it's a good memory for me.
Yeah.
And it's good to, just in case I do get to the airport and that fear starts to come back in me, I know that I don't have it anymore, but it was 7 years of not flying, so.
Right. There's a lot of repetition, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah. And it's a longer flight than New York. I was flying New York every weekend. It's a longer flight. It's 3 hours. We were stopping, so.
Right. Did you notice an increase, like, skill level with your ability to do this, as far as how easy it is for you to go into a session, how easy it is for you to just disconnect?
Absolutely.
You must have, in this period, I mean, it's been years now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Maybe you can just, speak to that for a minute and let the viewers understand how you came in terrified, and even the second session you were uncomfortable.
Yeah, I didn't. The second session I didn't focus at all.
Right.
I was sitting in your office.
You were a day closer to the trip. Right.
I was sitting in your office, my eyes were closed, but I was nervous. I was thinking, oh my God. Plus I was thinking, did I pack enough? What did I, So I wasn't even focused, but now as soon as I put it on, I'm relaxed. I'm focused on my breathing. It's so much easier. But in the beginning, it is hard to really pay attention. And
you came in the middle of a crisis too, which is an extreme situation.
Right, but it works.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I think that's the best time for, I think when people really want something and they're desperate and they really, really want it, that's when it's going to work for them. If you don't want it, I don't think it's going to take a little longer for you to get there.
Yeah.
That's all.
I like, you know, I was certainly sad that you were in the crisis that you were in, but from my perspective,
It's better for you.
better for you, because in my mind, I'm kicking back a little bit, because these are the people that just, you know, do extremely well with this because they have nowhere else to turn.
Right. All the while I'm in your office shaking, but it's better for you.
You weren't the worst I've seen, I'll have you know. I had a client once who was in the middle of an ongoing crisis, emotional crisis, who couldn't even sit down, and we had to start the session with her standing in front of the recliner.
Oh.
And it took about 15 minutes just to get those knees to bend and for her to just sit back.
Okay, so I wasn't that bad.
No. But you had a very short window with which we had to...
3 days.
Yeah.
Not like calling you at the last minute.
So you went from preparing to quit your job to...
Yes, I was very much prepared to quit my job.
Yeah.
I would have gotten fired.
Yeah.
So
you got pretty good with the skill now, and you see the positive ripples spreading into other areas of your life, as far as getting in cars with other people driving, getting out and...
Absolutely. Back seat now.
Back seat? Are you
I've
looking over
moved
their
on.
shoulder,
No.
or you just hanging out and
Text
being a passenger?
messaging, doing my own thing. No problems.
Yeah. Are there
We
any...
just did an airboat ride down Alligator Alley last week in Florida.
Oh my goodness.
No, I have no worries anymore. And before I would, even if I had to do that, absolutely had to, I'd have a backpack with like tissues and a bottle of water and my EpiPen, or I'm not even...
Yeah.
I don't even worry about any of that anymore. I
Wow.
mean, maybe an EpiPen in case I get stung by a bee.
Right.
Because that
Right.
would probably be bad. I'd go
Right.
into anaphylactic shock.
Yeah,
but
hypnosis probably wouldn't prevent that.
probably not.
Right.
But other than that, I'm not, you know, I'm okay. I'm okay now.
So if you were to summarize how the process is for someone coming in and going through sessions, and
It takes patience with your body, with yourself, to really adapt to what is being said to you, to really believe that it's going to work. Because some people just think, okay, the minute I walk out the first day, I'm healed, I'm fine.
that's the misconception
And that's
about...
not the truth.
Right.
You really need to do your homework too. You need to go home and listen to
Press
those
play
tapes.
once a day.
And the people who aren't going to do it, well, it's not going to help them. I listened to it all night long while I was sleeping. I kept it on repeat. And people think you're not going to hear it when you're sleeping, but you do.
Yeah. So you did your homework, you did the repetition,
And now I will fly. My uncle lives in Thailand, and I'm going in August.
Really?
A year from this August, yeah.
How long would that flight be?
12 hours.
12 hours.
Stop in Beijing.
My goodness.
So
Yeah.
you have to do your homework. And you have to believe that you want this and it's going to work for you, and believe in you. I mean, it's hard to have someone that you don't know.
Exactly. I really have so much respect for people, especially in your situation, in the middle of a crisis, coming in, meeting this new person,
Right.
learning this new technique in this new place, a new office, and this... What's up
Especially
with
if
all
you
that?
have a phobia.
Yeah.
And it's not like, you know, if you have a fear of other people and you want someone to help you, it's kind of hard.
Hard to take
But
the
you
help.
really have to believe in it.
I'm amazed it worked.
Well,
You know?
you do a great job.
Oh, well...
You definitely do a great job, and trust me,
You're-
everyone around me thanks you.
Oh.
Because I think they were at wit's end with me. I'm like, no, I'll follow you in my car. No.
Yeah, yeah. So so you're going to be traveling across the globe,
Mm-hmm.
and back to the way it was before the 7-year stretch of,
Yes.
well,
Of-
yeah, whatever
We
you
won't
want to
say
call
word,
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crap. We can say that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So have you done any meditation, or is it strictly listening to the sessions on occasion, or
Well, I go to the gym every day, but I do Pilates 3 times a week.
really?
Yoga is a little too slow for me, but
Mhm.
Pilates, you still focus on your body and breathing.
Has
and
this helped with that?
Yes.
Let's hear a little bit about that.
It's, well, Pilates is quicker than yoga, but it definitely helps you to know your body and focus and all that stuff. So it definitely helps.
You're able to focus more
Mm-hmm.
as a result of the hypnosis?
Yes. Yes.
Really?
Yes. Because I listen to your tapes and it tells you how to breathe and release all that stress. And without that, I wouldn't have been able to go into Pilates learning how to release the stress, because I hold on to all my stress from the day.
In the past, you used to hold on to all your stress from the day, but now... Yeah.
Now I don't.
Yeah.
But I was
Yeah.
holding on to everything. I'd
Now
bring it with me everywhere.
you choose to release it because you've got the power.
Right.
Very cool. So I feel silly asking this question. So what would you say to someone who was thinking about pursuing hypnosis?
Please go see him,
Yeah.
and you shouldn't
Yeah.
feel silly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please, I'd give out your number.
Yeah. It was easy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So nothing but good things coming down the road?
Nothing but good things.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any other goals that you might use your newly found technique to accomplish?
Goals like, such as...
Anything? Or maybe you just you're in a good place right now.
I'm in a very good place.
Yeah. Nothing needs fixing.
Not well. Well,
There's
there are a lot of
always
things that need
something, right?
fixing, but nothing that I need to
Right. There's no
think of right
crisis.
now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You're enjoying your time.
Hmm.
Well, was that a fast 30 minutes?
It was. I'm done.
Yeah.
That was good.
Easy?
Easy.
Yeah. We're just
It
sitting
was
here.
kind of like being
Being in the-
hypnotized,
yeah.
being in the office.
Right. Well, I really want to thank you for sharing your
thank
story
you
with the
for
viewers.
having me.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are going to benefit by what you just had to say to them. So
I hope so.
thank you for that.
Thank you.
Well, folks, this has been Healthy Hypnosis. Stay tuned. We've got great episodes coming up. I really appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you next time.